What's up, everyone? We're back. The NosCast.
What is good?
What's up?
What is up?
It's the end of the year.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know what that brings, but I'm glad this year's over.
Listen, we cannot count our blessings just yet. We're not out the clear. We got a couple more days.
You mean a couple of months? Days.
I'm trying to be optimistic here.
I am too. That's an over-under right there.
I don't want to be too optimistic because that's how we set ourselves up like we did in 2019. So before we do all these 2020,
everybody had that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about to be a whole movie right now. No.
Don't make any of those 2021's gonna be my year
You're not doing new year, new me.
No resolutions. No resolutions.
Nah,
New year, new me.
Let's just be quiet and just be hopeful.
No resolutions.
Just live your life.
Let's just all sit in the house, do what we've been doing, and just twiddle our thumbs until we know it's safe.
Take up a hobby. That's what you should do. You should get a hobby.
Take a hobby up. Try and figure out what. You should have spent all this time in quarantine just trying to figure you out. It should have been a lot of me time. Should have just figured out what your truth is and then go live it.
Nobody did that.
No.
Nobody did that. You know what everybody did?
After 3 days, they went crazy, and they panicked after they bought off all the damn bread and toilet paper and Nintendo Switches they could find.
I saw this meme, and it said, good thing this didn't happen in 2003 because we would have been playing Nokia Snake for 2 months going crazy. We would have really went crazy. Everybody really would have went wild. This happened in 2003.
It would have been a lot of murders, a lot of psychotic, episodes.
I think
flip it out.
If they just gave us like all the movies they intended to release, I think would have kept more people home and more sane and relaxed because at least we'd have had stuff to do and look forward to.
Really though?
Really?
Think so.
Because I didn't watch Wonder Woman, and I heard you said that it wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And they could have just released that
they could have put this out like last year. They wouldn't, or whenever it was intended to come out.
The world would have wanted to skip the beat.
It was a lot of we finally get this movie during these times.
Lackluster.
They
didn't live up to it, man.
They could have put that shit on Hallmark Channel.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, they could have put that on. That's what I felt like I was watching.
Like we won't. I guess we'll do like a no spoiler kind of review. But
no, we're not gonna do that. Listen, it came out.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah. It came out in the theaters.
It can't be pirated.
People are pirating things. If you haven't seen this, too damn bad. That is on you.
Okay.
It'll be a week by the time this episode airs.
If you don't have the HBO Max, save yourself the $17 and just wait for all the other movies to come out. Because if Wonder Woman was going to be your go-to to start your subscription, the best thing on there is still the Fresh Prince documentary. It wasn't it. It wasn't it.
I hated it. I'm not surprised.
You know what? Hated it.
Like that's how I felt. Like even from the opening scene, like I was just like, this feels so.
I wasn't feeling her.
Early 2000s. It felt so dated.
You didn't like the first opening with the games and everything.
Maybe it was supposed to feel dated because it's 1984.
But it was not dated as in like the way that because it was set in the 80s, obviously. But it dated as in like the way the action was, the music, like it was very Sam Raimi Spider-Man like all this
but not
stuff.
in a good way?
Yeah, like it doesn't work for her character. I feel like she's already been through like this, she was in a war, like you know what I mean. I feel like she's kind of like a little more hardened.
Was that addressed at all in the movie? Oh, that's terrible. It should have been.
They really skimmed over it. I felt like if we were 12 or 11, we would have liked this film, but up to that point, like you said, it reminds you of like that early 2000s Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Obviously, superhero films have progressed since then, and when you watch this film, you would think there was no progression. I didn't mind the camp. I know you hated the campiness at the beginning. I didn't mind it, but it just took a hard nose dive to the point it was just no point of return.
I just wasn't hyped by the trailer when she was catching the lightning with her glass. I was like, eh.
Okay, here's the thing. I actually thought that part was dope. When I saw the trailer,
I say the trailer actually had some of the best moments.
Yeah, that
from
scene,
the movie.
That scene was dope. But when that scene came up, spoilers, it didn't make any sense because she was flying and then she sees a lightning bolt and she does the little Tarzan thing, but then she goes back to flying. I was like, well, what was the point of doing that? You just could have kept flying. Like it made no sense why it was just there.
She had an invisible jet.
Yeah,
she flew. Like she usually does.
Yeah.
And she caught lightning to get momentum like Thor.
Like this does a lot of things. It's showing more of the stuff like Wonder Woman's been known for.
Yeah,
like it does throw that in there, which was fine.
Like I did like the invisible jet scene.
Yeah, because especially the way they did it was, because it's a goofy idea.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the way they did it, okay, that works.
But then you
it's
gotta go
fine.
by the Superman rules because he has more powers than they let on in the movies. So did they throw like a bunch of powers that she had? Like I saw the tiara being thrown. So that was cool.
Well, you got to keep in mind the thing about DC, and this is kind of, and I'm talking in general, not just with the movies, but I'm also talking the comic books and even the shows, at the Arrowverse shows. DC has a problem where a lot of their characters are way overpowered, and I think it puts them at a disadvantage. Like in the comics, for example, Shazam punches a hole through reality. Why? Like it's just they're way too overpowered.
But Marvel's starting to get into that power creep though, but they're doing it slowly. So they're bringing in the mutants.
But here's the thing: Marvel's heroes have always been, with the exception of a couple, most of Marvel's heroes and villains have been based in science. So there's a little bit you can relate to it a little bit more as you read because you're thinking, oh, that can possibly happen, especially if you're a science nerd. But the chances of you, an alien coming down and being a superhuman, or you getting the speed force, you know what I mean, is not gonna happen. Even Batman is godly like at this point. You know what I mean? It's just like certain things is doing like, nah, homie, you still human. You should have had your arm ripped out your socket, man.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I mean, I'm looking forward to more to like this drought ending with WandaVision coming out soon, so I'm hyped for that.
That's in a couple of weeks, but
a couple of weeks, January 15th.
I would just, like I said, if this movie was any. Here's the thing: throughout this whole year, there was 2 movies that they did. There was Mulan was the first one, and now Wonder Woman was this one. And these movies that were supposed to get these big theater releases, and once we got them, they were just letdowns. So I think, to kill all this hype with everything else, I'm glad HBO Max is releasing everything like straight up in 2021. But I think, I think Disney should do the same thing. Like, because if Black Widow is this exact same thing, we waited all this time with all these delays and pushbacks to get a very mediocre at best movie. It's gonna feel pointless. Just give us.
But do you guys
everything.
like this trend where they're foregoing the movie theaters to put these films out on these digital platforms? I'm not mad at it, especially if they do same day release and they do something like, I don't know, they charge you like a surcharge to get it the same day, because they've been doing that with early access on like Prime and stuff. So I think
but the price is gonna go up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you get a price, you get a one-time price.
If it's not the Mulan $30 one.
Oh yeah, there is wild for
like
that.
That is just
with no Mushu. No, that's not happening.
No Mushu or no Mushu.
Exactly.
No Mushu.
No dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. I needed that. Coming to America too. I need that. I miss Eddie Murphy.
Here's the thing.
Is that 2021? Is that?
Yep, that's March.
That's
March.
Okay, all right.
We'll get into that in a minute. But to go back to what you were saying, I'm half and half on that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I do love the aspect of going to the films. We all know, like, going to the movies was a night out. Okay, but if they keep making these movies like this, because let's be honest, most movies now,
I would have been disappointed paying like
$30 for that shit.
for this.
Oh
movie.
yeah, no.
Because most movies now are just spectacles.
Yeah.
They're more. It's just spectacles. What they can sell, far as what they can do with technology, which ignores the story. And then also, I do believe that it's gonna probably shine more. I think when you keep having movies like this, it's gonna shine the light more on the television, because that's where it's at. It's getting to a point like that's the proper way to tell the story and to be good. And while we're still in this golden era of TV, you know what I mean? Versus just like, okay, because I'll be honest with you, much as we love superhero films, I believe superhero films kind of killed the movie industry.
I mean, but it's what we've all been waiting for years. When we were younger, we used to be like, "Yo, it'd be dope if they do this movie."
I feel like
this
I
movie.
don't know. I feel like they helped more than anything.
Yeah, because they brought billions of dollars. Billions of dollars is the record.
That's financially, but now I'm talking substance.
That's fine, but then that just means Hollywood has to just take those risks again. and push out. Like,
but they're not going to take those risks because
I mean, there's some directors that do. Guillermo del Toro will do that.
yeah, but they got clout.
Yeah,
And even them to a certain extent they don't, because think about it, studio, especially now with the pandemic and they losing money, they really are not going to want to take a chance on a property that's brand new. They're going to want to take a chance on a property that's already existing. That's the problem. Well, we're getting all that crap.
They need to be more like courageous and like, if I wrote a movie and I gave it to them as a pitch and said, hey, I think this will sell, take a chance on it. They're not gonna take a chance on it because it won't bring in that median $1 billion range.
No.
Like,
well, you gotta also figure what is the cost of what that movie's made. Because let's for example, $8 million now is considered independent. Now, like back in the 90s, that wasn't independent. That was like an intermediate. That was an intermediate movie.
Or if you're Blumhouse, that's
a
lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Like, nobody stretches out a budget like Blumhouse. Like, they stretch that shit out like Thanksgiving turkey meat. Like, they will like try to save every freaking penny. I can't even be mad at them for that.
That's hustle right there. That's cost effective.
I can't even be mad at them,
especially during these times.
Yeah, it's cost effective.
Yeah. But like I said, it has helped financially, but I think artistically it's hurt because I remember Anthony Mackie said this at an interview, like at a con or something, like superheroes kill the movie star. Like back in the day when you went to the movies, you would see like big budget films. It would be like Schwarzenegger. It would be like Stallone, like in big bold letters.
Single name
because you were going to see that actor. Now you're not really going to see what's the kid? Tom Holland. You're not going to see Tom Holland. You're going to see Spider-Man. You're not going to see Chris Hemsworth. You're going to see Thor.
Some people still have it though,
yeah,
like The Rock.
The Rock
is one of those people who he still has it.
But he's the only one. In my opinion, now he's the only one. Now, if you think about it, because maybe
I would say Tom Cruise also.
Yeah, Leo,
but he hasn't had a hit in a while.
Leo too.
Yeah, because he's just been in crap movies. But I would still say he's one of them. He's one of those people, like his name alone gets people to go see the movies. I would say The Rock. Tom Cruise.
Should we pull up the Mummy?
Well, that's not. Well, okay. He's been in plenty of shitty movies himself. Like The Rock. Come on, we gonna really like The Game Plan, Tooth Fairy. Like, come on, like let's not. If we could go that route.
What was the one that he did? That was the buildings falling. Something?
Skyscraper.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Something like that.
No, he did two of them, right? Wasn't it like another one? Well, it was like an earthquake one.
Skyscraper.
Something to do with earthquake. I don't know, but yeah, he's been in. He has. You're right. He has been. He has been a lot of stinkers too.
He was getting ballers. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Like actors like them, because like when you think Tom Holland, you're gonna think Spider-Man. If you think Chris Evans, you're probably gonna think Captain America. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, Scarlett Johansson, like so on and so on. But they're like one of those actors, like because they're not attached to those big superhero properties where they can still do movies like Jumanji and Moana and whatever else I'm looking at here. Like people will go see them.
San Andreas. Yeah. Let me ask you guys this question: what have been some of your most? Because it's the end of the year.
What's been your favorite movie to come out?
Yeah, I was about to ask that question. That's a tough one because there's been a lot of stinkers this year. I kind of wish you didn't ask that question. That's a lot of stinkers.
Let's pull up the 2020 list.
I gotta see the list.
I will say one of my favorites is the one I was telling you about, Maz Rennie's Black Bottom. That movie was superb. I'm talking like if you have not seen that film, go on Netflix and watch that film. Like that movie.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah, everybody in that film should get nominated for an Oscar. Like that movie is the actor's film. Like, and what makes that film sad is that was probably the best acting I've seen from Chadwick Boseman. Like that was like. And it's just sad because it's like, damn, what?
I feel like I say that about like every role he's in.
But he's that good.
I'm about to say
he's that good.
He gave us so many like things that turned into classics. Like don't bring that up. It's gonna put me in a bad mood. But let's see what came out.
Okay, well one of my also favorites is Sonic.
Sonic was good.
I enjoyed Sonic.
I did enjoy Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life was good. I like how they set up that universe they're gonna build. I hope they get the money to do it. I really do.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in that.
The Bad Boys franchise. Yeah.
There's a lot of money.
The Invisible Man was good. If you guys saw it,
I have not seen that.
You should. It was good.
I always been trying to watch that movie. I didn't get a chance to.
It was good.
Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. I remember that came out.
And I was one of the few people that really fucking enjoyed that film.
You liked it?
I liked it a lot. Even though I will say they owe a lot to Deadpool.
Hated it.
Really?
Hated it.
Nah. Okay. I need to know before we go further. I need to know what is your reasoning for why you did not like the
Just
film.
wasn't an interesting movie.
Really?
You think they put too many in there? I mean, they had the original Birds of Prey, but
which was fine, but it was still mostly centered around Harley Quinn. Like I didn't feel the rest of them got much. It was a lot of them that didn't get as much time. It didn't feel like a team. It still didn't feel like a team movie. Like it really only focused on like two of them, like at the most. That's what I'm saying. Like they just mark it as a Harley Quinn movie, then build the Birds of Prey as you go along, because they obviously want to make a franchise out of the Harley Quinn character.
Was Black Mask good? He's like
Oh, is
I think he was the best part of the film. I think he was the best part of the film.
I was watching just for him because I love Ewan McGregor, so I was gonna watch it just for him. But so it's worth it to watch it for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I got time this week.
It's on HBO Max too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
I might do the subscription.
He was the best part of the film. He was really good as Black Mask. But I enjoyed the film. But like I said, even I can say they owe a lot to Deadpool.
Okay.
They owe a lot to Deadpool.
Hated it.
Hated it.
I didn't like it. Next.
Next.
I'm trying to think what else. I didn't see Bloodshot because it just didn't look interesting. Nor do I know anything.
I don't think anybody's seen Bloodshot.
I don't think so.
Bing, have you seen Bloodshot?
No, I have not.
You have not seen Bloodshot?
I don't know one's seen it.
What was your favorite movie this year? What did you see?
Oh, jeez, man. There wasn't even that much. I don't even know if I saw anything.
Because the amount of movies that we could have got got pushed back. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the one movie that would have pulled, like, I would have risked my life to go see would have been Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Afterlife.
We were supposed to get that last August.
We were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't.
I'm pretty sure that
okay.
that probably would have been the best movie this year.
Probably.
I would think, because I'm trying to think. There was nothing else supposed to come out in 2020. I was hyped for a lot of movies, but I think that was the one I was most hyped for.
I'm upset we didn't get that many teasers this year with movies. Like they had it cut everything. They should have just built the hype for the following year. Like Mortal Kombat, I always kept my eye on. A few properties from Warner Brothers that they were supposed to release. We should have heard something about Blade eventually. Like that was
of course
announced.
we know your love for Blade. Get about some Blade.
I'm hyped. You already know.
Where did that come from?
Did anyone see the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run?
No,
I didn't.
No, that came out.
Yeah, I heard it was terrible. I heard it was.
I did not.
That's probably why I didn't hear about it.
SpongeBob even had a film.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute! I did enjoy Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted was good.
Bill and Ted 3 was good.
That came up just right now.
Bill and Ted Face the Music was good. I really enjoyed that. Though it was a really good cap to that trilogy. Dare I say that Bill and Ted have a perfect trilogy? They have a perfect trilogy.
Bill and Ted movie night?
Yeah. Like, because think about it. Indiana Jones could have had a perfect trilogy, but they had to make that craptacular Kingdom of Crystal Skull that I don't recognize as the fourth one. We're not going to go into that right now. But we know Back to the Future has been dubbed as the greatest trilogy.
It's my favorite one, trilogy.
You know, but it's Bill and Ted. Do you think that Bill and Ted is going to be one of those, like...
I did like Bill and Ted Face the Music, but I've only seen it once. I can't make that decision to say that it was
it again.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean. I got to see it at least a couple of more times to make that decision to see if it was a perfect trilogy.
And that's a very, very old school way of thinking that I like.
But it might even be hard to call it because it's like maybe if it came out like not as long, like the thing is like when they do these sequels where it's like they come out 25, 30 years later.
You really gonna put the semantics on this?
I mean, it's like with things age over that. It's just like it doesn't have the same flavor and feel and essence that that
the original had.
But if you watch it all back to back, I'm sure you'll get the nostalgia and you'll be like, you know what? I enjoyed that more than I've seen it.
Because one of the things, like, I did enjoy the movie, but one of my things with Bill and Ted Face the Music, I just felt Keanu Reeves was so out of the character. Like, he's been so long since he played him. Like, he didn't feel on beat. Like the
Alex Winter.
Alex Winter seemed like he never, like he's like he does this every day. Like, he never
He is
stopped
Bill.
being Bill.
He is Bill. Like I do agree with you that there were certain scenes where you can clearly see Keanu Reeves was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There weren't any good horror movies out either, like this year.
Well, we would have had a great
We would have had Halloween
Kills. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we would have had Halloween Kills.
Then they were like, nah, y'all good. Y'all gotta wait a whole year.
Yeah, they was like.
We would
nah,
have
so-
Spiral, which I'm hopeful
I forgot
about.
about Spiral.
Yeah, Spiral was supposed to be. I mean, there was
Candyman.
There was
Oh yeah.
there was Hoobie Halloween starring Adam Sandler. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
No, John did it. He loved it because
Why?
Because that kid loves.
Has he never seen any other Adam Sandler movie before he like went off the deep end?
He loves Grown Ups. He likes Happy Madison.
He's really
he likes
showing.
Billy Madison. He likes Happy Gilmore.
He's really
Well,
showing
those
his
two,
age.
yes, those two.
He
Those are only
loves-
two good ones.
He loves those, but he likes Waterboy. He likes the classics,
Which is
but
fine.
then- which is fun. But he loves the new Sandler, and I'm like, what is your problem? Who hit you on the head when you were younger? It wasn't me, I promise. But
Last time I liked the Adam Sandler movie,
Little Nicky.
yeah.
I think after Little Nicky, that's when it went.
yeah,
Oh, Hoobie Halloween? Nah, that
ain't it.
wasn't
That wasn't it. That
Hated
wasn't
it.
hated it.
That wasn't it.
Ain't it?
No.
But I can't remember.
I'm going down the list. I did see The Witches. I did see
Did
The
you like it?
Witches.
Because I was gonna watch it.
I still haven't.
You know,
watched
because
it.
I like, you know, we all love some Anne
heard-
Hathaways.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I like that.
I heard it was good.
and I just watched. I just watched it earlier last week.
I'll watch it this
So,
week.
I did enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it?
I didn't see it. I
You
didn't
see
see
it?
it.
I'll watch
I
it.
tell you one film I did not enjoy. I'll tell you one film I didn't enjoy, and I'm mad right now.
Uh-oh.
Woo, I'm mad. That goddamn Craft Legacy, which you were like, give it a chance. It might
Gotta
be
give it a
good.
chance. You gotta
That
give it a
movie-
chance.
and I gave it a chance, and I can't get back 2 hours of my fucking life because of you. I sat there and watched that crap, and then just the spoiler alert: Nancy comes back at the end, and it makes entirely no sense. There's no mention throughout that film of Nancy and the other ones, other than the whole craft book that they find. There's no mention of them at all until the end, and then the lead character's like, "Hello, Nancy, I'm your daughter."
Mister trying to set up that universe.
Well, that's a horrible universe. Okay, that is a terrible universe. That movie was craptacular.
I'm sorry.
How dare you? How dare you?
You gotta give it a
How
chance.
dare you? Tell
I thought
me
you loved
a
it.
chance.
You know how many Terminator sequels I gave a chance? You know, I went in there with the same mindset.
Why'd you do
That's a
that?
mistake on his face.
Because the
You too, man, because you over there shaking your head. Why'd you do that to
because
yourself?
the Terminator series is one of the greatest franchises of all time. The first two. Everything else.
Then that's,
Yes, absolutely.
Up to 2. After that, it takes a nosedive.
That I didn't watch Soul yet. Soul is
I didn't
next
see it
next
yet.
on my watch list.
I know.
I watched
Jay
it.
Holland wrote it. I watched it. He said it was really good. He liked it.
Here's my problem with Soul. I watched it. It's an okay film. My only issue with it, one, it kind of bored me. I feel like Pixar's taking themselves a little bit too seriously lately. It's like not every damn movie has to have a deep message. Like I get it. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe in my cartoons I want to see somebody get hit with an anvil. Okay, I want to see somebody get hit with a mallet. Okay, I don't need some like message about harmony and self. Like, come on, like I don't need all that shit. I don't need all that right now.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with seeing somebody get hit with a mallet?
I mean, you saw my man drop down a manhole and die.
Well, he didn't die technically. He was in a coma. Spoiler alert. But I mean, it was good. I really did. I thought Jamie Foxx was good in the film. Although what I didn't like about the film is how they kind of focused on 22, which was played by Tina Fey, I believe. I was really more into the story of about a man like who was middle aged, but he recognizes his worthiness and he's still able to be like still go after his dreams despite what situation he's in. Like it's not too late. I love that aspect of the film. I did love how, I mean, those damn animators must have went to a black barbershop in fucking Harlem or Brooklyn and like because they had that down to a T, and I did appreciate that.
They should have messed that up.
Yeah, but it just I kind of felt that it just felt short when they started focusing on the 22 character and not. And I felt like it should have been totally on the lead character.
I watched that in Witches this week.
It sounds like you mostly like the movie.
No, like no,
Like,
it's okay.
Like, you
but
had
it's just-
way more positives than you had negatives. Like you didn't like your only negative was you don't feel like every Pixar movie needs a message.
It doesn't need a message. I
Oh.
felt like I didn't like the Tina Fey. I just felt like they focused. It feels like they kind of was taken away from that lead character and focusing on 22, and I was just like, I don't care about that character at all. She's actually annoying, and that's another thing. I felt like they've been making the sidekicks way more annoying than normal.
We'll see. But speaking of that, Coming to America 2. Y'all excited?
That's you said that was March that was coming back.
March.
Yeah, okay, so 2021.
Saw the trailer?
I did, but
I don't know. I feel about
I have
Wesley
questions.
Snipes.
I have
Wesley
questions.
Snipes.
I have questions. I have questions because here's my question, and I think this is everybody's question. The old guys in the barbershop.
He's still alive.
Shouldn't he be like 100 at this point? Like,
Yeah, I mean-
they were old as fuck back in 1988 or 87, whenever
look
the
exactly
first
the same.
one came out, and they look just like, wait a minute. They should all, especially the Jewish guy.
They
He
should just be
Oh,
dead.
yeah, he should be
They
dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
They should be dust.
I'm like, is this like a period? Is this set like back in 2010?
Nah,
Is
it's
it set in
current.
the
Unless they
90s?
got Morgan Freeman's where you've been old forever.
Yeah, like is it set in the 90s?
It's not a real thing. I just made it up.
So
No,
the premise behind
Morgan
the movie,
Freeman's.
everybody knows his
Everyone knows Morgan
he's-
Freeman's is a real thing.
Morgan Freeman
when
is
you're-
a name.
He was born looking like that.
So as far as the setting goes, well, the premise behind the movie, his son is in America. He brings his son back to take over the throne. I'm assuming Wesley Snipes' character is trying to take the throne away or do some coup because it's hot in Africa right now. And what's going on with the sister though? Because he has a daughter, and it seems like she's hooked up on. Maybe she's gonna be Wesley Snipes' character, and they're gonna try and take the throne. And that might be the premise.
I don't know. Other than the premise is that he has an unexpected son that he goes to America and brings back. That's all I know.
Who's playing his son?
He's what's this? He's up Jermaine Flower.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing his son. Leslie Jones is playing his mother.
Louis Anderson?
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, hey, he might have bought that franchise, that
Yeah?
McDowell's franchise, and he's on the come up.
Rick Ross is in there? Ugh.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I'm not
As
liking
himself.
That.
As
I'm not
himself.
liking that. I'm not liking it. Nah,
Ooh,
like
Tracy Morgan, like to see him getting work.
Sherry Headley looks amazing. She looks good
Yeah?
still. She looks exactly the same. Black don't crack. She looks
crack.
good. At least McDowell. But yeah, I'm just
I'm
kind of
excited.
curious to see how did he have a son and not know? Like, was there like a point in the first Coming to America that we didn't know about that him
They'll
and
explore that.
Simi,
Yeah.
had some sort of orgy and knocked up his mom's or something like that?
They'll explore that.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, I have high hopes for it. It's one of my favorite Eddie Murphy films. There was a couple things in trailers that did concern me. One was seeing Tiana Taylor in there, and I love Tiana Taylor, but I still have bad flashbacks of when she was in that Tyler Perry film. I don't know if you remember when she was like Byron.
Yeah. I forget.
like-
I forget which one it was. I just remember working in the movie theater when I was out. And
It was a big deal.
constantly hearing that because they would play like these trailers on like loop on like these little digital signage things we got. So that we had an inside joke about that whole Byron thing. Like that's how much I heard that shit. But yeah, I mean,
We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any crazy hopes for it because like I said,
Be a fun
these
popcorn
movies
movie.
that they do like 20 30 years later, it's like, yeah, it's good to see like some of these old franchises that you grew up with, you watched back in the past, but it's like I don't want to go into them with super high hopes.
Don't go. I don't go into movies of hopes anymore.
I just expect it to suck. Therefore, if it's trash, I'm not disappointed.
I just go in there.
Oh, he's just like straight to the point. He's like, oh no, this sucks. It's just- I feel like
No,
that's,
I'm kidding.
and I feel like no. I feel like that's the perfect rating. Is it good or does it suck? What's your rating?
Stinks.
It stinks.
Like I said, I always say
Sucks.
worst movie ever or best movie ever. That's
yeah.
it.
Like I said, I have high hopes for it, but there's just a couple things in there that makes me. Like I said, like those guys should be.
I mean,
like
I just like
100.
waiting for like the Avatar franchise. Like, I'm not hyped for the next Avatar
But
movie.
do they say that it takes place definitely in 2020?
That's the thing I don't know. That's
So
what I'm trying
it
to
could be
figure.
maybe it's like in the 90s.
It
or
could be in the
something like
90s.
that.
It could
Yeah.
be
early
like
2000s.
Early 2000. Because I'm like, those guys
That's
got to
true.
be like 100.
So,
I mean, just for continuity's sake, I'm pretty sure it's gonna. I don't know. I'm curious now. maybe they'll go that. Maybe that'll be a flashback scene. Maybe he goes to America. Maybe he thinks he has a son, and then the woman he's with tells him no. And he goes back, and then he feels like he finds out actually he does have a son.
And another thing that kind of not worries me, but I'm just like, because I like this opening scene when you come into Zamunda.
It's pretty.
Because obviously you can tell that they were influenced by Black Panther, Wakanda. But this is where I'm a little concerned about. When the first coming to America, they went to New York, they went to Queens. It was shot in Queens. You know when you see a movie that's shot in New York. This film was shot at Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. So I'm like kind of worried that when they get to New York, it's just gonna be cheap. Backstage backdrop.
Everything's being shot.
I forget. James Earl Jones also has.
They're shooting Spider-Man there
He
too.
also has Morgan Freeman's disease.
Well, I heard he's like dying in this. I heard that rumor has it that he is dying and that Hakeem is taking on.
Oh
the
yeah,
throne.
in the movie.
Yeah, but he's still like
he's still alive.
He's still like
he's like 90.
He's like he doesn't like. He still looks like he's been that same old age like
forever
since The Sandlot.
What's his
I feel like he's been old forever. You ever just see somebody like they just been old forever?
Yeah, that's what I call Morgan. That's what I call Morgan Freeman's disease.
Wesley Snipes lost all his hair. Damn.
But here's the thing too: is like okay. Even if they're like, let's just say argument's sake, they're like 90 or in their late 90s. There's no way in hell dudes in their 90s or late 90s still cutting hair.
He getting cut up.
And look at that dude
clean
haircut.
Look at that
like,
clean.
Nah.
Look
That's
at
some new school shit. Those are old school barbers, okay? Like look at you. You have the straightest hairline ever.
He could have like still kept like those because that's that trope, the old dudes in the barbershop. He could have kept the same thing, just been new people. They not
and they could have still been there.
Yeah. Like there's no way old dudes cut. Like look, you have the hairline of a dude that I could tell your barber got to be like 19. Like that.
Oh no, he's not at all.
He's not.
No. Maybe like 30s.
That's but still young.
Yeah,
that is a young man.
Yeah.
Looking at your hairline,
Like,
that is
you're
a
not
young
gonna be
man.
like those two. They gonna be fucking that shit up. Like
you have a hair. You have the hairline of a guy that I could go. Well, you know what? He dates black and Latin women. Not the hairline of a guy that dates white girls. We know that hairline. You look at a nigga. You're like, oh no, he dates white girls. Look at his hairline.
I feel attacked.
Take your hat off.
Nah, I don't have
Take your hat off. I can tell just by that space that is the hairline of a nigga that dates white.
Yeah, man.
I mean, everyone's got their.
Yeah, everybody got
preference,
everyone got their preferences. Everybody got their.
I don't
Ain't
judge.
nothing wrong with that.
I don't judge.
But like I said, I hope we'll see when it comes out. I think this is one of those films you got to wait to see till it comes out.
I think it's got to be. I think that the expectations for 2021 is so high that everything that we are looking forward to has to be the best fucking thing that ever comes out.
I think expectations are kind of like middling to low because we've been waiting for things to come out that we're hyped for trailers, but we're not really like expecting anything.
You don't think anything could live up to the hype?
No, not even hype. I mean, because you could.
That's coming out next year. I mean,
we don't know because we haven't been teased.
Some of the stuff that was, I think some of the stuff that we were supposed to get will live up to it.
Like
I'm
we
mentioned, like
Ghostbusters.
Like I think that will. Mortal Kombat, I feel like definitely will. I'm trying to think, so even just outside of like movies, just like games and music, in general.
That's the one thing I want. That's one topic I want to talk about because I love talking about music and getting your insight on it because you are a musician yourself. What do you see in 2021 where music's going? Because I feel that, and now let's just go into the realm of hip hop. I feel that we're gonna get another hip hop crew coming. Mm-hmm. We haven't had one since Young Money. I feel like we're on.
That's not true because you still had Odd Future. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
had
said
ASAP.
Well, no, they were still in that era though.
Taylor Gang.
They were in that era. But I'm talking like with this new era, I feel like we have a new crew coming because they were all in the same era, like Taylor Gang, Odd Future, ASAP Mob, Young Money. They were all in that era, and then that era, TDE.
I think you're just gonna ask where do I see music in general.
Well, what do you see? I'm gonna ask that too.
I was gonna say virtual concerts more than likely. Like I think that's gonna be
that'll be big. But then they'll do in-person concerts, but then they'll also do the virtual aspect to it. Which I think is cool.
I think you have the option for both.
Yeah.
I think they'll start.
How do you feel about virtual concerts?
I think they're cool. Yeah.
I've watched a few. I've seen a few of them.
Personally, I love going to concerts, so that wouldn't be me.
You know, I would still like to be there. Mm-hmm. It's not, you know, the same. You still get a nice visual and musical experience watching virtual. Like it is dope. Like it is a cool concept. Like, but it's like there's also the thing of like just being in a crowd with like everyone.
That same energy that everyone
screaming
has.
at the top of your lungs of all these songs and seeing your artists like live in person. Like it's there's a different feeling, and music also feels different when you're watching. Like listening to it in your headphones is one thing, but when you're live, it's more powerful. I feel like that's when you hear songs the way they're meant to be heard, like in a live setting.
I always prefer live music over the recording.
It's
especially all the concerts we went to, like just the seeing our favorite artists. Even like the concert that wasn't a concert. We went to Cali. We were at the listening party for NERD, and they were just chilling, sitting on top of their little car on the set, and then they were just playing the album. It was a listening party. I wasn't even mad. I was mad, but I wasn't even.
But
mad.
I think that's the good thing. That's the one thing I could say. That's the good thing about music. I feel like with everything being virtual because of the pandemic, obviously, I feel like music will still thrive. You know, coming from the realm of comedy, it's scary because comedy is such a different thing. Like I've done like Zoom shows. And doing stand up on a Zoom show is so fucking weird. It's so weird because stand delays. Not even that, because stand up is such. You need that reaction from the audience. I need that connection. I need to know if this joke works. I'm not gonna know if I'm just talking into an endless void on the screen. You know what I mean? I need that. So I think at least with music, you can still make something and you can bring, you can showcase it to the world and you can still get like a feedback, the comedy, not really. So I do agree. I think music gonna survive with virtual, but what do you think hip hop musically? I'm talking musically. Where's hip hop gonna go, especially with the climate that we're in?
Same way it's going right now. Trash. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're rappers. I mean, seriously, we have rappers getting killed like every week or getting arrested or getting shot at. Like, where do you see where's that next phase going?
I don't think it's a phase. I think it just stays where it's been. It's stagnant. This is it.
Like it's just a thing where it's just like, I don't know. Like I feel like with this, at some point there'll be some shift, like there always is musically. Like we've just been in this whole like trap infused like era of hip hop. Well, at least with Main Street hip hop. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it'll only be so much time until the overall sound of what is current shifts. You never know what it is. History does like to repeat itself, so it could be something that we've heard before, but this sound is now popular again and came back, or it could be something completely different. It's kind of hard to tell. Like you never really know, but you get these artists that branch out and start to do other things. Like, okay, we clown my man Mario Judah because it's funny, because it's different and he's weird. He's a weird dude.
Like he
really is.
He's weird.
But what he's doing is
it's fresh,
completely out of the box of what everyone that he has been doing. Like
kind of catchy.
Like who
is this we're talking about?
Is this guy Mario Judah, and like he makes this very weird like theater, it's weird because it's like it's different,
Disney
but it's really not bad. So
Disney hip hop.
It's not Disney. It started from a meme. Like someone on Twitter posted the clip and it was like, "Yo, this dude raps like a Disney villain." So that's how it blew up. Okay. And in the way he does rap and sing, he sounds like he's in like a theater or an opera.
He's doing like a monologue, like those villains do soliloquies.
Yeah,
and they like divulge their history or plan, and it sounds like he's doing that. Almost if you're watching Hamlet, and you have Hamlet doing his one scene,
right?
And he's doing a soliloquy, like holding like the skull and everything like that, talking to Yorick.
It's the way he sings.
The way his enunciation.
But what he's saying is like the way he sings and like his lyrics. It's all rock. Like if you hearing it over a rap beat, it's funny and goofy to most people. But if he had a rock soundtrack, it would sound completely normal. So I think what he's doing is because back in the day we've always had like the rock infused rap with like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park,
New metal.
POD, like all like that type of era. So like he's doing the complete opposite, where it's more like rock infused, like or rap infused, like rock.
You know, it's funny that you brought up rock because anybody knows me, I'm into all kinds of astrology and woo-woo type of stuff. And a lot of astrologers did say in 2021, when it comes to music, that rock is going to kind of come back. It's going to be on the rise. So I do think that's one particular genre of music that's going to be back on the rise.
I mean,
Like I said,
see
I see him starting a wave of like these new artists going into that territory the same way that Kanye, Kid Cudi, and Drake inspired this current wave of these artists. They're all offshoots of them. With this, very melodic and more singing. And,
I feel like
all
of them are
more
offshoot of
transparent
Kanye.
music.
No, I
like,
don't think so. Some of them good with Cudi.
Yeah.
Well, no, Cudi too, but I'm saying like Kanye is the godfather of all
Maybe
that.
like beat wise, but I would think like melodic wise, like the
It was the 808 Heartbreaks album.
It was Kid Cudi. But even that
Even
album
then,
we know was inspired
by
off
Kid
of
Cudi.
So it's like,
and that's another
Cudi,
thing.
good one.
And I will say about Cudi, and when Cudi first came out, anybody knows I was not the biggest Cudi fan because I was still stuck in the old era. But I will say that I do think Cudi needs to get more respect for birthing a lot of these new rappers.
He does.
Yeah.
It's just people don't really like know Cudi like that because he went away for a while. Then these guys stepped into that void. Like you got your Juice WRLDs, you got your.
I still feel like they all still
stepped into that
like
void.
Juice WRLDs and
They
Lil
all
Uzi
pay homage to
Verts
him,
and
though.
the Playboy guy. I feel like
Travis
they all
Scott's.
they
They all
definitely
pay
Travis
homage
Scott,
to
like they
him.
all still, because even he's not working with these people, especially
Yeah.
with Travis Scott. So I think like they always will have their respect, you know, for him and you know what he does.
A lot of people don't know what it's like to sit home at 3 a.m. listen to humming. Just listen to Cudi.
That's Cudi.
I ain't gonna front. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, if it's like 1 a.m. and you playing a Cudi album and you got a nice little joint, whatever, and you smoking and you listen to that, it slaps. Like
That's
it's an experience.
Yeah,
It's
no, of
different.
course.
It's
but,
different.
But like I was saying, like that I see, like, I don't know for the current wave of like how hip hop is going, but I could see this new subgenre becoming a new thing about 5 to 10 years from now.
And we'll all be better
you
for
know?
it. The world will be better for it because that subgenre is pretty good. I just feel like we need more of that calming aura around music. Like there's too much like trap music, like
It's loud and aggressive.
I don't need that right now. I don't need that at 7 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I
like
don't
when you
need
got
that.
so much of that, like eventually, like it's not.
I don't need that at 7 in the morning.
The longevity of it is not gonna like.
It doesn't need that 7 in the morning. You know what? That's so true. It's like trap music at 7 a.m. traffic. A little too much.
I don't need that.
A little too much.
I don't need to be that hyped to teach. I don't gotta be that hyped to teach in the morning. I'm good.
I'm miserable going to this soul sucking job. I don't need to be hyped going to this.
Like I can listen to that 12 o'clock right before my next classes, but I can't do that. Like some of the kids, they like Nipsey.
Some of your kids are trap artists, aren't they? They look like a bunch of little babies.
Nah,
and
they're
little
not about
babies.
that life. They're good kids. They like decent music.
And the thing is, like, it's like the current generation. They're like, they're never centered on one genre anymore because the way to listen to music now is completely different from how it was back in the day, where the most time you're consuming it either on TV or off the radio, where it's like YouTube and Spotify and Tidal and Apple. You have this way of branching off to like a million other different like lanes. So you even hear like most modern music is like inspired by a lot of different other genres, and they kind of just make like a fusion of them. And the same thing with a lot of the kids. Like these kids, like they're all like back in the day. Like I remember, like the kids in my class, they were only it was like this or that. Nowadays it's like, and I felt like I was one of the only kids who listened to multiple, different things of genre. That's why I stuck in the lane of music. And that helped with, of course, hearing samples and then finding where samples come from. It's like, oh, well, this is jazz. Well, this was from some weird ambient record that came out in like '84, like, But now, people don't have to discover things by just digging through like what samples come from. Like the current generation, like that's why they're not. I wouldn't call them like trap because they could look on their Spotify playlist and it may be like Playboy Cardi on one side, but then it'll be like hiatus Coyote like on their other daily mix.
You might
like,
see Thundercat.
Yeah, like it's
these
kids are like
they're
well, that's
receptive.
the power.
That's what I love about that.
That's the power of the internet.
I can play music in the classroom, like I can play like,
and they know it.
Not only that, but I'll play Jackson 5 and they know it. Like I'll play like Prince and like that because just in case somebody like pops into the room, like one of my supervisors saying, "Whoa, what are you listening to?
What y'all listening to?
What y'all listening to? What y'all listening to here?"
It's not good when you're teaching the class. You got Megan Thee Stallion talking about a nigga riding a nigga dick. Like that's not good. It's not good.
I don't know. Apparently she's the biggest weed too. Like
these kids are trying to learn Pythagorean theorem. Okay, you're talking about I ride on the dick and
she's a weave apparently, but supposedly.
Yeah, she is.
But it's just they're more receptive. Like I love playing music for them. Like that's one of the good things that we connect with. They'll say, "Oh, put this on the playlist while it's like yada yada yada." Because I got 40 minutes for a class, so I'll teach for 20 minutes. I'll give them 10 minutes of free time, and that's when I play my music. And just get them loosened up. But they're receptive. They don't be like, "Your music sucks, Mr. Wallace." They only said that one time. It was only because I played like Jackson 5, and they didn't know what it was. And then they listened to it again. They're like, "You know what? I respect that." I'm like, all right, because they're not into that, relationship music. Like they're not related to my girl, stuff like that. Like, but it's a nice, true, chill beat. I try to play some Frankie Lyman. They wasn't about it, so I'm like, all right, whatever. That's too much for y'all right now.
Damn, even I wouldn't play that, brother. That is old as shit.
You gotta put the kids on them doo-wop records.
I ain't gonna front. If you listen to Frankie Lyman, he's definitely one of the best soprano falsetto singers of all time. I also have another, because we're talking about what to expect for 2021, what we want to expect. And this is, you answer this because you're a very fashionable guy, but you're in fashion and you just launched Prime.
We launched Primates.
Just Primates. Where do y'all see fashion going in 2021? Do you think now with this whole pandemic, have we seen the end of an era of the hype beast?
No, I think you've seen it more so because, like launching a clothing line, like it takes a lot. Like you got to figure out what trends are. Not even that. Sometimes you got to like figure out what people might like, and just do stuff you like too. Like you got to think. A lot of people are so strung up on.
Well, not to cut you off, but let me be more specific with it. Where do you guys see streetwear going?
Okay,
like the Supreme, the Off-Whites, the Kiths, and all that.
I just see it more. I see it more accessible. Where before, like say like go back to like 2006, 2007, back when I was in high school. You only seen it on people who knew about it, and, and it was only sold at select stores. Like it wasn't like nowadays, you could go in like Jimmy Jazz, you could see BBC and ice cream and like all that stuff.
It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that before. Before, like they would only have select retailers, and now select retailers was either the Billionaire Boys Club shop or Barney's, stuff like that. You were already buying expensive clothes.
You used to tell me stories of like how you got like Leroy would get like a Bape shirt, and I'm like, where'd you get that Bape shirt? And he would give like this long Indiana Jones type of
the Worcester Street.
He had
over 14. Go to Worcester
Street.
And
91 Green Street.
And then when he went there, he had to like take a bag of sand and put
like they would do like exclusive shows. Like Christian would always go like he used to work at the movie theater, and this man always spent his money on BBC ice cream, and I'm like,
18-year-old kid. I had no responsibilities.
You have no responsibility. 18.
We would always go to the store.
Money on dumb shit.
And but it was dope though because it was that experience of going to the shop.
Right.
And then like we would go to like different like secret shows and stuff like at different places. Like there's a pop up at this place real quick. Go before pop ups were a thing. You go in and you buy like stuff that was off the rack that wasn't released for a while. And we go to Complex Con. And go to these events just for that streetwear, but now it's more accessible.
It's more popular thing. It's not where it's like a hype beast thing. It's like you could see.
That's what I'm saying. You think the era of the hype beast is over?
I think it's over.
It's over.
It's because all these brands are like a lot more accessible.
Yeah, because I didn't know anything about Supreme until maybe like 6 years ago or so. Like I never heard, I knew about BBC and Bape through you, and others in our crew, but I never heard like Supreme. I didn't hear Off-White or Kith recently.
But that's the good thing about that scene, though. You heard about all that while you talk with these other people, because you would see people in line for concerts and they'd be like, "Yo, that's a dope shirt. I know where you got that."
Because it was kind of like the way they were modeling these clothes. It was only they didn't want it was the opposite. They didn't want it on like just everybody. Like it wasn't the clothing line that like like it was meant for like
because they've been like there's even been like they were saying like Biggie wore Bape.
It's because of the styles and stuff. It was different, like the bright colors. A lot of people didn't wear
there's a
bright
picture
colors.
of Robin Williams in a Bape shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing's not gonna find it now. He's like, let's find that right now.
But no, there was like a lot of the colorways. Like ice cream was bright colors.
Yeah.
BBC, you had to go upstairs to go to the BBC store. Like that, I like that little
Look,
dynamic.
yeah.
There's it.
Boom.
Look at that drip.
Look at that drip.
Drip. R.I.P. to Robin
Not
Williams.
even that, just two. Look,
Drip.
look at that. He got two. He got the jacket too. Look at that drip. See, look.
That's a man of fashion with his Scott Summers ruby glasses on right there.
Have any of you guys waited in line for apparel?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
How long? By how long though?
A couple of times. It was the longest I remember was Fashion's Night Out the first time because NERD was there. So I was like I'm waiting all day. So
We used to, but that's
got
like,
there like morning, like
we used to
maybe
do
like
that
9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. They didn't get there till about like 4, 5 o'clock.
I'm about to say like 10 p.m.
Frozen.
That was nothing though, because we used to do that for concerts. We wait in line because we always be in the front for concerts.
That's a dope shirt. Yeah,
That
that's a
was
dope
fire.
shirt.
See, but people didn't like that style because there was a lot of colors, a lot of pop. People were always into like blacks and stuff.
Well, it did come at a time.
And North Face and FUBU.
Well, that's the thing. It did come at a time where, and I will say this. If we remember that game, that god-awful game, Def Jam Icons, if you remember that game and you saw how every rapper was dressed, and that year, you would go, wow, that was not a good era for fashion.
But then it's like, but that makes it better because if you know, you were part of that whole wave before.
Like the way clothing in general, streetwear and just clothing, I just feel like it's now like with loud colors and loud prints and pops, like we see that now. Like you go into Foot Locker, they have all these windbreakers that are straight out of like 92. Like I think this whole, it's moving back to that.
It's great,
like I said, like I was saying earlier, with history repeating itself. Now all those clothes, like that style,
got Will with the paisley
is coming back, like bright colors and all that stuff. Like
a lot of vapor, wave type. Yeah.
It's great though. I like it. Like I like a lot of colors.
But I like, anybody knows me, I love like pink and purple.
I used to have that baby blue sweat hoodie back in the day.
A whole sweatsuit. You got a whole entire baby blue sweatsuit.
I had a whole baby shoes, baby.
Because it was just like it wasn't this one solid color. I'm like, okay, now it looks weird. If it was like,
it was back in the day, I wasn't.
Well, that was a thing back in the day. Like I remember
just wearing like one solid color.
That was like back. Was that like
colors.
Was that like back when like velour suits was big?
Nah, it wasn't that deep. I'm not that old.
I had those.
Yeah, they were horrible.
I had a track. It was like a tracksuit.
Wasn't they horrible? Yeah. If you look back at them, they were so baggy.
Everybody started wearing Adidas again. Now tracksuits are cool.
Well, see, Adidas.
Tracksuits are comfortable.
Like with their partnerships with like Kanye with the Yeezys and with Pharrell with the NMDs, the tennis shoes, I think that made Adidas like the really big popular sneaker brand nowadays.
Oh, absolutely.
Nowadays it's like Jordans are like
middle
down here. Like more people go for like
I think
Pumas
are gonna make a comeback too.
Pumas
Pumas.
I would say for the past 2 years.
They've been making moves.
Have been making moves, man. I own a pair of the joints. Remember, I showed you. They were. Listen, the RX3 joints, I really love that line.
A lot of the basketball players, the young rookies, they're signing Puma deals now.
Well, I think here's the thing. I think, in my opinion, like Adidas, because remember, Adidas put Nike on his back for a while when they signed Kanye and the Yeezys, and I do feel that Adidas was taking a lot of chances. They were doing a lot of innovative things. And Nike was just like, no, we're going to stick to these old J's over here because they're going to sell.
I mean, a lot of people, you talked about this last week. I forgot. No, a couple weeks ago, you were talking to somebody about SBs. People buy SBs now. Like, I have a cover of SBs.
And see,
people are starting to buy SBs now.
Yeah, and that's not, to me, that's Nike's money making now.
SBs.
That's not even it's not even J's.
I just think the last, iterations of them haven't been good. Like, I have the Cookie Monster ones. Like, I like those. But they just, the classic's gone now, so...
Well, it is harder to get, because it's like now, because that's the thing with sneaker buying is like you have to go through some weird Nike app or whatever app, and you gotta
wait in line.
You gotta RSVP through there, and then you gotta hope you get past like all the people using bots. It's
You gotta have a connect.
yeah. So it's like I missed actually just sadly waiting in line. Like,
but then you gotta go on.
it was easier doing that.
Or just going in and buying it. This is like we have enough stock, you know.
But that, I don't know. That's where I see fashion going.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think anything changes in 2021 because we're looking for that sense of normalcy. We want to go back to the way things were.
I'm looking for that vaccine, baby.
I'm looking for that.
It's the only way things will change. I swear.
You can get the vaccine. Are you not gonna? Are you?
I'm
not a. I gotta wait until the general public.
Oh yeah, we're in Jersey. I apologize. We're in Jersey.
No, not even that. Like teachers are in the next phase, so we're in the next phase.
You gonna take
for this? I'm apprehensive.
Take it.
I'm like Eric keeps telling me to take it. Like, but the problem,
if you want life to go back to normal, this is the only option. Because
it's not that
we asked the people to stay home and wear masks, and they protested the entire time. All they did was rise the numbers up. The only thing that will stop it. If we take the vaccine,
you know what they
and then places
are
gonna start saying you cannot come in,
unless
you can't have business unless you're vaccinated.
That's what's gonna happen. Like, so the problem is with
therefore they know that shit is not gonna be spread at their place, or they can stay open later.
They were like, stay at home, and all Americans were like,
look. I'm not. It's not that I'm apprehensive about getting the vaccine. It's just I want to get it, and
Do you really want to get? How bad do you want it? Wow.
I just want to see a couple more studies, see how people are doing. Like my friends who are nurses, I want to talk to them and see, what's up? Did you get the vaccine? How are you? Are you okay? Mm-hmm. Everything is cool? You work directly with COVID patients. How are you? All right? Like there's some questions I have. You gotta always have questions in life, and there's some questions I got. So once I get those questions answered, I'll be cool. But chances are we're not supposed to get the vaccine until February-ish because they're gonna bring us back in January.
That's fine.
They're gonna bring us back in
Black
January.
History Month.
I'm trying to have a good summer, and I can't if people keep
the kids
spreading
are,
this.
The thing is with me and going back to work and teaching is the kids aren't being tested, and I for one know a bunch of kids who have it because they talk to me about it. We have like a remind class, so it's just I just feel like they deserve to be tested first, or get the vaccine first before we do.
I feel like
you want them as the lab rats.
I feel like you take the vaccine and like 2 hours later we're like carrying you home. You're like, I see the light.
It won't be the first time I got carried. It won't be the first time I got carried home after a crazy night.
2021, the only out of all the games, movies,
but we're ready for
music,
it. We're ready for it.
The only thing there's the vaccine. That's the only thing I'm looking for.
We're ready for it. You know, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the trips. I'm ready for actually experiencing life and doing things that, we were supposed to do this year during quarantine, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get back there.
We will if y'all could just take this vaccine and stop being little sissies about it.
Stop doing this. The government shit, man.
But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed here. One of the best things about this year was us moving our podcast here to a shared podcast studio, on our very second episode, man. It was the second episode. We're now on what, episode 20?
No, it was the first episode.
We're on like episode 16, 17.
No, we're past 17.
No, it was the first episode here.
No, we're not. The first episode still counts.
That doesn't count.
No, it counts because
it's
still on YouTube. Anyways,
it's a hidden episode.
Anyways, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun times here, and I'm looking forward to more in 2021.
Big things in 2021.
Yes.
We'll have a lot more to talk about, a lot to discuss. Thanks everyone who's been supporting our YouTube channel.
Thank
you.
It's
growing
so
steady.
Much.
Completely. We appreciate all the support.
We're looking to build this community next year. So just make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. You comment a lot, we'll put you guys up on streams. We're gonna do a lot of experimentation with live feeds, like bringing people in. So look forward to big things with the camp next year. So be a part of it.
We're looking to expand Camp Nas. We have a lot of new content that we're working on.
Merchandise.
Merch. So merch will be the next step, hopefully within the next month or so. We have new content that we're working on that's going to come out. So we're looking to even make the brand better. So we're going to have a lot going on.
For season 2.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
So we at Camp Nas appreciate you guys' support. We wish you guys a happy new year.
Happy New Year, y'all.
We'll see y'all in 2021.
Peace.
Peace.